YouTube, looks like we're up and going. Just give me a moment here. We're setting up. I'm about a minute or 2 minutes early here. And what a pump from the EU yesterday. Whew. Drink some coffee. So we'll talk about the pump. So guys, we'll talk about the pump we had last night. Morning, Grumpy Butcher. Open up the chat here. I opened the room about 2 minutes early, so I'm just kind of waiting. But okay, 8:30. All right, let's get started on time here for the sake of everybody's time. So first off, let's go through and talk about the pump. Um, as y'all know, I trade options, and I wanted to kind of talk about my play yesterday. I had a really good day, and what I've been following on the options, I trade the SPY mostly, is this trend line here and then this upper trend line here. And so as many of you guys know, when you get close to this kind of an area where you have double support, right? You have the trend line support, plus you have a line that was once very good support that acts as very good resistance. Typically, that has broken above is going to have some form of a bounce of good support, right? And so what happened yesterday is I'm on the 1 hour here, but if I go to the 2 minute, I want to kind of walk you through my day. So we opened up the market. Uh, Where am I? No, 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 no. Let me find the market open. So looks like about right in here, right here. So we opened the market around here, right? So the day before, I had taken a put around here because we were near our resistance line, and we also were potentially creating a double top on the higher time frames, right? So when the market opened yesterday, I was able to close that there. I waited for a push up, and then I took the second put here, and then I took a third put on this level here, right? I closed it a little bit early. I actually closed it right before this popped out. I left it open. Um, but I was actually out, so I was out to eat, and I seen us come down and hit this area here, right? So when I saw this one, I didn't take a call quite yet. I waited until we saw support at a potential higher low, right? Double bottom. Then this double bottom is what had caused this reversal, right? And now you can see the pre-market is way up here. So I had actually closed my call at the market end. I kind of wish I held my gut and left it open, but oh, it's showing there's issue with my internet here. Let's see if this catches up. Can you still hear me, Grumpy Butcher? Are you here? Yeah, there you go. Looks like it's loading. That was weird. I have fiber, but must be going something with my internet company. Um, well, hopefully you guys can still hear this. Um, but you can see I've been following this lower channel, right? Because the SPX actually runs after hours. And so the after hours is going to look a little bit different, right? So I've been kind of following this channel, and you can see that in the after hours last night, we continued up enough to break it. We found retest double bottom off of it, and that just caused it to really pump, right? And then we got a secondary push when we broke this level here, and we found a support, and then that pushed up again. Yeah, I don't know. It still says internet connection unstable. I have fiber, but I don't know. Maybe it's just tweaking out a little. So that's kind of what is driving our crypto push, right? Is because it was kind of catching up with stocks. So there's nothing that shocks me about the push last night because of the fact that the crypto did follow pretty much what the stocks are doing. But so where do we go from here? So I want to look real fast, kind of zoom out, right? Go to the 1 hour. So this yellow line right here is going to be a pretty strong resistance. We have a lot of resistance here, a lot of resistance here, a lot of resistance here. It found crazy support here, which caused it to just go parabolic, right? So it's a very, very strong support and resistance. You can see even when it blew past it, it couldn't hold it, so it just immediately crashed down, right? causing this big fall. So it it really needs to convince me that we're going to really go higher, like really high. I need to see this 4018 level broken and held as support. If we see that, then we're going to expect some really crazy highs, and that's going to pull crypto with it, right? Anything less is just gonna pull it back down. So that's kind of what I was following on those. Now I wanted to flip to the Dixie. So the Dixie in all this is just ranging. You can see we had a little bit of a pullback this morning. That was due. This is what caused most of the pump, right? Is the Dixie just kind of crashing down, and then you have the double bottom breakout and holding support. So this support on the Dixie, when you zoom out, it was very strong resistance here. So it's acting as strong support. There was some really good strong support here that caused parabolic. Remember, most of the good support and resistance that you're going to have is going to be ones that have big moves off of it, right? Like that. So this is going to be an interesting pocket for the Dixie, and I want to show you why. It's a really critical area for the markets and where we're going to go, because if the Dixie can hold this and push north again, we're likely to push up to retest this 105. If that happens, right? Which, if you think about this, if you go to like a higher time frame, let's try like the 4 hour. You can see we're kind of forming a potential double bottom here, right? So if we can push up here and we can break this 103, then this is going to push up. That's going to drive the crypto markets down. Now I want to show you why this is critical here. This line right here is everything. So if you go to the daily and you zoom out, let's go ahead and give you a little perspective. This trend line has been here since January 2021. And it literally, I mean, it broke it briefly here, right? And then it's just been held there and just went parabolic after holding it, right? And so if it continues to hold, right, into this range here, like this, we now have a double support and resistance. So this line right here is a derivative of strong resistance here, strong resistance here. I mean, and guys, this is like 2016. I mean, right? So you can see this area has been really strong resistance. And when it finally retested as support, it went parabolic, retested as support, pumped up to the 105 again. Now it's retesting as support and it's creating a higher low so far. Where this is critical is the only way for this to create a lower low, right, is going to be breaking this trend line. It hasn't broken this trend line since back here, 2021. Hasn't even came close, right? Look at all these touches, right? I mean, it landed perfectly on this one. So if this trend line breaks and we see a rejection off of here and a pullback, that pullback is going to be dramatic. It's going to be down into this range, right? Somewhere into the 97, 98 range. Now that type of pullback is going to probably be even more so, because you have kind of like a, like your giant kind of head and shoulder pattern. I mean, if I were to take this to um, the weekly, right? You can see it a little more clear. So if it were to break this trend line, I mean, this fall is going to be significant. And if this fall ends up that significant, you're going to see stocks just go freaking nuts. Um, on the VIX, you can see this also fell with the Dixie. But you can also see that based on our indicator here, we are near a heavy support level. So if you zoom out on the VIX, you can kind of see where we're at with that. So we're sitting at 19.42, and we'll go ahead and place a line. If I were to throw a support line, I would probably put it right there. We'll just make this yellow for now. And the reason why is I can see resistance here. You got support, right? We're a little low from that support, but we have a lot of touches through here. We have some good touches through here, good touches here, good touches here, and we just had a touch here. So 19.21 is kind of that level we would need to break for the markets to really push north. Otherwise, we could find some support and pump up here, which is going to drive the markets down. Um, sorry, I was looking at I'm going to go through this anyways, but I was in a short. Oh, cool. My LTC short closed. Nice. So that's kind of where we are with the market. I'm spending a little more time on this today, guys, because I'm not really making a lot of changes to my ATA today. I did make some changes last night that I'm going to cover, and kind of why I made those changes. But um, right now the markets are pumping. Um, I don't know. When you look at the SPY on a larger time frame, I didn't cover that. This is what I'm hesitant about. At the end of the day, we're following this resistance line. All this is resistance, right? And if you look at the pre-market, we're right here. Now, if we can break above this and find support, it's going up, right? Initially have a fall and a parallel channel up, which is like, as you guys know, a bear flag, right? A lot of times, what I'm interested to see on this, a lot of times in these bear flags, when you have a trend line down squeeze, it will reject back off of this, pump, reject, and then this squeeze is what's going to push the flag down, right? And so for me to see this trend line invalidated and to see a really good high on this, I would need this to break up today, find support, and then break up like this. And that would kind of be like this sort of like on a double bottom breakout retest. If that happens, the bear flag could still be in play, but it's gonna push up into the 407 level before that breaks back down. So just kind of areas to watch there. Um, so let's just flip onto the other ones real quick. Um, Total market cap. So as you guys seen here, we had the triple bottom came up, retested as support. Up we go. Not only the the bottom, support held here, but you also remember we talked about yesterday. If we can continue to hold this range and we break above these EMAs, there's going to be a squeeze on the 200. And I mentioned it would take a lot of volume to push it back above the 200. Well, you can see these candles, right? These candles to me, aside from the stocks doing it doesn't make sense. I mean, it did kind of reclaim the volume over here. But a lot of this time means to me is that the market makers wanted us to be bullish. They're probably trying to squeeze the shorts of everybody that took shorts down here. And so they pushed it over the 200. We retested it, and that's what caused the crazy volume. Notice that the same level in the market caps that we have rejected on so many times, we just rejected literally exactly on it. For us to go higher in the market cap, I would need a reclaim of this level and actually found support. Because if you look, even through all of these crazy pumps, we never found support. Even like back here, see? So even when we hit almost 29K, I mean, it was up and right back down. So if we start to see this hold as support, then this area up here is going to be for sure tested. Now, if you're in shorts, where you want to be worried about is if we break above this red line and this black line here, and we hold support, because the next levels I don't even have marked. They're so high. So that's something you want to watch for. In order for us to be bearish, we have to break back below this 200. And it to me today, and maybe today, maybe tomorrow, I can see another pullback retest of this the 50 EMAs. Um, and once we find support there, a push higher would validate that. As far as that, we're going to continue to push north. So I am watching the divergence on here. I marked this morning. We are red now, guys. Remember, so if you know, typically when we go red like this, you can see even in this area here, we were green and we were bullish, which we did get the pump. Then it flipped back to red, which gave a dramatic fall, putting us back into green. The moment this flipped green again, right, we're bullish. Um, and then now we're coming into we're oversold, right, and bearish. And I wanted to touch a little bit on why I cover the market cap, guys, because I know we don't trade the market cap. So I get people that ask me from time to time, like, well, what's a good way to choose direction on my ATA? How do I know if I should go long or should I go short? Um, I mean, you really could just do the market cap, guys. The market cap is all of the coins, all of the pairs. So you could tell yourself, okay, if this is green, I'm only running longs. If this is red, I'm only running shorts, right? So even if this was green and you only ran longs, right, you would have came through, made a ton of money on this pump because your DCAs. It would have came through, it would have fell, right? You would have DCA'd the heck out of it, and then you would have made a ton of money again, right? Now you should be thinking short, right? Because we're oversold on there. So if I were to go back and kind of run this theory, right? Now I would not just say if this is red, I would say, maybe when this turns red, right? So you would activate some shorts here. You'd run those shorts. It turns green. You stop those shorts. Comes up, and that's how it would keep you protected because out on the pump, even though you're in those shorts, you would have it not ran. Then you would start the shorts again. You wouldn't necessarily take a long in here, right? Or maybe you could do one or two, something not too overextended. But the moment this went red again, right, you could activate it shorts again, right, which would have gave you some good oscillations through there. So, and you can do this on higher time frames. If you don't want to touch it daily, I mean, you can go to like the 4 hour, right, and do the same thing, right? And so you can see here, see how you got your red, right? And we had that pullback, and this is a lot, right, on the market cap. And then we went green. I mean, you could even not use these red and greens. You could just follow this. Go longs, go shorts, go longs, go shorts. Because I mean, these are 2, 3 days, right? Stretches, because you're on a higher time frame. Um, so just there's a lot of different ways to do it. You can even do it on the daily if you want to just really not touch it. I mean, think about this on the daily. If you were to say, you know, like come into here, I mean, let's go back farther, right, just to see how this would play out. So if if when you turn red, right, you ran shorts only. So you'd run shorts all through this and you'd be good, right? The moment it turns green, you kill all your shorts, even if you have to stop out a little bit, right? And you flip them all to long. Then you just run this. Look at this. I mean, you would just ride this whole wave up, right? Then you flip yours to short and you ride this wave, flip it back to long. I mean, this is the daily, guys. So this is like a week of running shorts. Then you have the long, right? You run your longs, right? And then now look at, see how this right here, although we pulled down here, remember, you're going to have DCA protocols still. So you're going to DCA this way, and all it takes is these wicks right here to get you out. And then you would see the red, you flip to short. You could even potentially flip to short earlier when you see the bearish divergence, right? Because you see the high here and a lower high, but you have the high here and a higher high, right? So you can see that divergence coming, which is what telegraphed this. And so, but you can run those shorts. Now you see we're in the green territory. You see this flip green, you should kill the shorts, run long only. And you would have caught all that, right? So now what are we waiting for? We're still green, right? You want to wait till this actually turns red. Once this turns red, then you could stop all your longs and flip it to short, right? Until then, I mean, we very well could continue up, continue north, right? So just another way, because I love to put out the guidance and stuff, but my goal is to get you guys to really understand how to manage your own ATAs and how to try to stay safe on them. And you can do that through the market cap. And you can do that, you can use this market cap to run all the pairs if you want to in that particular direction, right? I may even take a challenge on myself and use this strategy to do the direction for like a month and just see how it plays out for me, right? Even if I have to take stop losses on the shift, right? So just always be thinking of how to use our indicators, and for those that are new, I mean, these are all I don't this one's built into the other one, but these are all our indicators, right? The Bollinger Band, you got the tracker. I added these EMA specific, but I don't really need to because if I could put the tracker on here. I don't know why I had that muted, but um, you can even see the long and short calls, I mean, right, that you could use. But this divergence hunter is just it's really, really spot on if you're looking to kind of find some direction. So let's move on. I'm not going to talk too much about Bitcoin. I mean, it pumped. We have to break this 200 in order for on the 2 minute. me to be super bearish. I did put a call out in the room to take this entry. We did hit TP2, I mean, just barely, but we got it. Um, it's going to be likely a good call throughout the day. So if you didn't take your profit yet and you're back to entry, you could probably hang on to it. But we may see another attempt up though, so just keep that in mind. Um, so going to Ethereum, you can see we're kind of getting an EMA squeeze right here. Both of them had just a crazy pump. I mean, we're back to, gap fill, right? So, Ethereum's just been doing the same thing. It's just as Bitcoin. I don't cover it a lot, but I mean, we're just ranging, guys. I mean, everybody's like, it's funny because we pumped from 1730 all the way to 1850, and people are like, "Oh my God, we're going to 2K," and then we fall all the way back to 1719, and then pump right back to 1850, and then back to 17, and then back to 1850. I mean, literally have just been ranging. That's it. There's not been a breakout north or a breakout south of any of these. Now we did create a lower low here, but it's still not lower than this previous resistance line. So right around 1692. I'd like to see it fall below that and hold for us to be really bearish. So we got this one I don't need. So let me go to my alerts here. So currently I'm running ETH long short, LTC long short, and that is it. So I made a decision to stop my Matic long last night, which obviously in hindsight would have done really well. I'm okay with that because although I've foreseen a possible pump come up, um, I didn't know if while I was sleeping it would pump up, get caught, and then fall, right? I don't know how long this long is going to hold. So to me, I just didn't want to take that risk right now. So I have ETH running both ways and LTC running both ways. So we'll cover those. I did have Solana in a short um, last night when it closed this last short, anticipating this pump. I did close that too, so I didn't get stuck in a Solana either. I just want to reset a little bit. I want to see where this range goes because, as I said before, we're in a critical spot on the SPY where it could break above this and invalidate this, pushing us way up, and that's gonna um, it's gonna really impact this crypto market, pushing us up into the 29 something area, maybe even 30K. I would anticipate if we hit 30K, there's gonna be a pretty good rejection off that the first time. So, um, yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. My ETH, you can see here, doing well in the long. It did DCA here. Let me mute that. There we go. We got our one DCA, and it's hit the entry. It's just kind of hovering around the entry. So um, I'm not worried about ETH on this price point because my next DCA is 1830, which as you guys seen when we covered it back there, has just so much resistance. So it's likely if I DCA here, it's going to pull my entry up into this range, which is a good range to be for ETH. So I'm good on that, and I'm not in a long. So nothing to touch on my ETH. My ETH, I'm just running ETH Parabolic SARS. I do have two DCAs at the 3%. So, and then my LTC, as you guys all seen, I heard that beep. That's why I wanted to check that. Um, I woke up to LTC pumping like crazy, right? So, I mean, I went to bed around somewhere in here. It obviously did this. This is what I love about my ATA because if my ATA did not work, let's say I was just in a short for LTC, I'd still be stuck in that short. I couldn't have DCA'd this, right? And so, you know, if you look at how this played it, I mean, it's just so amazing. The first DCA look at actually wasn't bad because it almost got out. I mean, it literally hit my take profit and then just went up, right? So it was really close. But look at the second DCA, just absolutely phenomenal. Came down, boom, and out in profit. Um, so just LTC is a wild one because these pumps. I mean, look at this out of nowhere, just bam, 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 right? But then look at the falls are dramatic too. So it turns into pretty good profits. You can see in 7 days I made 234 on this one. And then my longs have done really well. I did DCA here. You can see DCA one almost got out. I'm not too worried about it if it falls because my next DCA isn't down till down here, which is some pretty good proven previous resistance and support. So I'll just let that one play out, and I'm likely to capture some more shorts along the way too. So we'll let that keep earning. Um, and then the LTC again, man. I'll tell you guys, I love range filter. I love moving average. You guys all know I ran that in the past because it's just so aggressive. But I'm finding kind of a new love of parabolic stars, and the reason why is the market right now is in a very critical spot where we can shoot to 32K or we can fall right back to 20. And there's just so many things, economically speaking, that can impact that, as well as just trends and just TA, right? And so we're just testing that upper range, testing it. And if we break it and hold it as support, up we go. But if we can't break this here soon, man, the fall is going to be pretty dramatic. So that's why I cut down to just two pairs. It makes it just easier for me to manage. I've had some pretty good success over the past, week, 2 weeks. So I don't want to push my luck per se. So what I'll probably do is just run these two pairs through the week, and then after Friday close, I'll make a decision if I want to add more pairs. I like to be more aggressive on my ATA on the weekends because weekends typically we just trade sideways, so which is like perfect environment for the ATA. So yeah, see, look, we're getting a little bit of a pump here. So looks like the SPY is pushing up a little bit. Da, da, da. Let's see where the Dixie's at. Yeah, it's just fighting this range, but this could double top if this retest fails. It's coming back down. So yeah, so it's gonna be a wild day, guys. I my gut tells me we're gonna push up. Um, how high, whether we'll break that 29K or not, I don't know that. This depends if we can break some levels in the stocks. But historically speaking, Thursdays they love to dump on people. So I'm not surprised that if the market makers tried to keep the levels pretty high today, in order to kind of maximize that liquidity of all the longs they're going to wreck tomorrow. So just don't overextend your stuff, guys. There's a lot of news. Not really this week, but there's a lot of stuff going on in the economy with the banks and all that. You know, and yeah, we'll kind of see where that goes. So we got about 3 minutes left here, so I'm gonna end it with that. I'm not gonna really dive into all of the other pairs today because I'm not gonna run them. If you're still running them, just manage your margin. Don't freak out. A lot of the bad situations that we get into is because we try to force things that are not there. We try to force trades to get out that it's not the time, right? If you are low on margin, you get worried. Just do we talked about going to your big get and enter in, half volume the opposite direction. That'll open up margin. Um, you can do that manually. Then you just follow the steps to go through and add the existing trade to add the ATA back. So, um, but yeah, we'll see where we go today, guys. I'll keep putting some stuff out in the room. You can see the SPX is trying to test this again. My anticipation is this is probably going to test up into this area here before it gets a really hard rejection. So my market open for options, I'll be looking to take a put only, but I'm gonna probably give it the first 15 minutes and let it fake out north before I take it, and then let it ride down. So um, yeah, just be safe out there, guys. And I'm gonna in about 30 minutes, I'm gonna open the room back up again for you guys that want to join the Q&A sessions. So and if you have questions, join. If you don't, you don't have to. It's gonna be just more about your time, and I'll just kind of be hanging out trading while I'm on. But we'll see you then. Appreciate your guys' time.